Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Goodwood Park for this round 7 fixture of the NPL Men for 2026. The team available and the squads are as follows. For Olympic, in goals, number 20, Lachlan Hunter for Urban Ecosystems. Number 2, Jackson Simpkin for Safety and Risk Consulting. Number 3, Tom Rifle for Number 4, Sam Cogan for Weeper. Number 6, Lewis Greenwood for Nidri X-Ray. Number 10, Kenshin Takegishi for Casa Coffee. Number 12, Cameron Wade, Ollie for Schools. Number 17, Declan Williams, Grills Fairfield. Number 18, Matthew Reed, Social Soccer Brisbane. Number 20, 3, Han Xiaoyu, Simcoe North. Number 24, Jack Parrott for Hooray Digital. Substitutes for Olympic, number 5, Rory Scott for Bell Post Securities. Number 11, Ty Cobb, Absolute Furniture Warehouse. Number 14, Hudson Slater, Australian Barge Hire. Number 15, Damon Burrell for Dracos Real Estate. Number 19, Abraham Yango for Mellon's Meats. Team sheet for Eastern Suburbs. Number 1, Chris Parsons. Number 2, Scott Neville. Number 4, Jack Hudson. Number 5, Matthew Melville. Number 6, Rafael Bellardo. Number 9, Andrew Pangeli. Number 10, Lawrence Kant. Number 19, Daiki Kuzunoki. Number 23, Cody Moore. 24, Ui Guan Han. Number 26, Carl Inonzi. Substitutes for East. Number 3, Alex Barnett. Number 11, Alex Parsons. Number 15, Alicia Rodriguez. Number 16, Josh Pringle South. Number 17, Patrick McMahon. Number 18, Tom Gordon. Just a reminder about our match day raffle. First prize, 24-hour luxury supercar experience thanks to Halo. If one of the cars you can see in our parking lot, or possibly another fabulous machine that they have. Second prize is the meat tray, courtesy of Alan's Meats. Third prize is free entry and registration to Olympics Easter Holidays Clinic. Tickets are $5 each. We draw at half-time with the NPL women's match.
Good afternoon, everyone. We've got round 7 of NPL Queensland action coming your way on this simmering and sunny Saturday afternoon. It's Olympic taking on East as both sides return to action after the Easter weekend off. James Coughlin behind the microphone, ready to bring you all the action over the next 90 or so minutes. We're closing in on the midway point of the 2026 season. And the race is looking like it is going to be as tough and tight as ever. Both these clubs will be chasing a top four finish and finals football. Will they make it? We'll just have to wait and see. For East, it has been feast or famine this year with wins or losses, no draws on their record to date. Let's run through the two lineups for this afternoon's matches. See captains going through their pre-game routine. Starting with Olympic, the goalkeeper Lachlan Hunter, number 2 Jackson Simpkin, 3 Tom Larkham, 4 Sam Cogan, 6 Lewis Greenwood, 10 Kenshin Takagishi, 12 Cameron Annis Wade, 17 Declan Warnes, 18 Matt Reid, 23 Hansio Yu, 24 Jack Perot. And it is a milestone match for the coach Chris Grossman, his 100th game in charge of Olympic in all competitions, having taken over from Royce Brownlee in 2023. Meanwhile, for the visitors with East, the goalkeeper is Chris Parsons, number 2 Scott Neville, 4 Jack Hudson, 5 Matt Melville, number 6 Rafa Velardo, 9 Adi Pengelly, 10 Laurie Kant, 19 Daiki Kusunoki, 23 Cody Maud, 24 Wee Guan Han, 26 Carl Imanzi, and they are coached as always by Raider Al-Rakabi. The big news though for East is on the bench with the return of A-League veteran Josh Brindle South for his first appearance of the campaign. And while we are waiting for kickoff, let's meet our match officials team led by referee Brenton Learopoulos, assisted by Carwin Gregory and Byron Lurch. The fourth official taking up that coveted spot between the two benches is Harley Carey, and we are underway at Goodwin Park. The sun is shining. It is a nice warm afternoon on this massive day at Olympic with the men's and women's senior teams in action. It is East going from right to left on your screen. In their white jersey, black shorts, Olympic, as you would expect here in Yeronga. It is primarily red with white trim. Cody Maud, who is as always on the right. And now Olympic on the break. Warnes looks like he might have managed to stay on side, and well, there is the commentator's curse early as Warnes had strayed offside. One of the handful of Olympic players to feature in every match so far this season for Chris Grossman. Here the wind getting picked up by the camera. For the ball yet again. Which is won back by Imanzi, and East bring it back to Simpkin on the halfway line. And no one there to get on the end of that one. Back it goes. So the form of the two clubs coming in, well, two rather different stories. Olympic in the league, 3 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat. And their lone loss came against Wolves in round 2. And they are picking up some positive results. The camera just gets briefly readjusted. Beautiful switch of play out to Hahn on that left flank, and now he'll look to take on his man driving into the box, and the lunge from Larkham just enough to slow him up. Hudson, ball, and that's dealt with, but not completely. To free up Maud as does enough to win a corner for his side, and those direct passes from Easts to try and get in behind the fullbacks for Olympic, and Reid was twisting and turning but did enough to put his body in the way. The outswinging ball, and it's not clear, and a optimistic effort from Imanzi. Goes flying high over the goal of Lockie Hunter, who has retained his starting spot after taking over in round 6 against Gold Coast Knights, that rescheduled game due to the power outage, and also in the Kappa Queensland Cup before the Easter weekend. 3rd straight start for Hunter. And that pass doesn't quite produce the same dividends for Olympic as it has for Easts. Far side is the experienced Neville taking the block. And here go the visitors as he has to check his run, and the momentum comes to a screeching halt. Chase that one down, but Olympic able to clear their lines. Now Greenwood. He's got Warnes in support again, and I think he might have stayed onside that time, Warnes. But Parsons was alert to the danger and was able to get on the end of that pass. Let's see what the replay has to tell us. Greenwood just holding it up and waiting for the run, and he was a mile onside. That East back line definitely not on the same page. Neville a long way away from most of his fellow defenders. Manzi disrupting that move. Greenwood, well, he might have stayed on side and he went for the acrobatic first touch, but the move didn't quite come off. Work by Larkham. Keeps that move alive. Now Greenwood in the corner with Hudson for company. Cart on the turn. Now going from left to right and finding Sunoki in acres of space. Olympic closing down in numbers, and it's Anis Wade finding Warnes. Now, can he turn provider for Greenwood, who is in a foot race? The loose ball, and the captain will lose out on that occasion. Cutting back on that right foot with the effort from range, not really causing too many problems for Hunter. So the form leading into it as well, covered Olympic. They had a commanding 6-0 win in the Cup over Samford. While Easts, they've lost the last 3 league games and 4 in all competitions. The last league outing was 2 weeks ago, 3-0 away to Morton City. In the Cup, they went hammer and tongs with Lions for 120 minutes before going down. Right there by Warnes as that Industries cutting back. Greenwood looking for the shot, blocked away by Neville, and now it's East clearing it away. They're starting to find themselves on the back foot a little bit. Kick for the home side, and potentially in shooting range for Takagishi. To put it up to the back post and can't. Stuck a boot out and got a critical touch. Smokey trying to escape the attentions of Reed, and closing down Lindsay. Home side, a throw in. Work by Simkin. Challenge, winning the ball back, and now looking to a forward run himself. Plays it in towards Perot, but such luck for the young attacker. The pace of the screen, the always active Al-Rakabi on the sideline, riding every moment of the match with his players. Lindsay on the turn, no way through Larkham. Chris Grossman cutting a very calm figure on the sideline. So this is 100 for Grossman since making the move to Goodwin Park from the Brisbane Raw program, and hopefully for his sake he'll be able to make it a winning occasion. 43 wins, 17 draws and 39 losses in all competitions so far. Yu on the ball, chasing his first goal since round one. This was a fairly dramatic introduction for the South Korean, the 90-something minute winner in a rivalry match. It's Han searching for an option. He's got Pengelly waiting in the box, and comes. Will Andy Pengelly take off with his goal scoring in Eastern Suburbs colours? Marquee edition at Heath Park. And oh, beautifully worked set piece. Almost results in a goal. I believe it was Melville. Let's go to the replay now. Little flick from Hudson. I'm not 100% sure if that was planned or if it was just a clever bit of improvisation, but it was enough to tee up the header for Matt Melville. Hudson with the touch and helped out by Imanzi. As freed up Kusunoki on the cutback. There's Pengelly, and he puts it over. Pengelly's made his way around NPL Queensland with Western Pride, Brisbane Strikers, Penn Power and Lions, not to mention the brief stint with Lion City Sailors in Singapore, which was cut short in 2020 for, I'd say, pretty obvious reasons. And also the brief stint with Moreton City in the Australian Championship last year. All-time NPL Queensland leading goal scorer, his tally is at 165. And now the shot from range, and oh, that was close. And Takagishi is adamant that there was a touch on it, as is Greenwood, as it was just a storming run. No one could close him down, and he hit with that with plenty of venom. You can see the questioning of Mr. Meteropoulos. Well, in his mind, it was only out for a corner. For a goal kick, I beg your pardon. Warnes driving into the box, beautifully timed sliding tackle from Hudson. Just issuing some instructions, and has been the target of a number of attacking moves so far for Olympic, and Jack Hudson thus far has held up very well to that extra attention. Goes two Warnes as he looks to turn provider, and that's the ideal delivery. Do-it-all media man for Olympic, Josh Hawkes, working the camera on the sideline. Excellent promo video for this game. Well, actually for the double header at Goodwin Park, with the women in action after this. Deflected ball into the box, and Parsons is forced to punch it. Now, he'll be called on again. Takagishi, not quite clean contact on that. I think his plant foot might have caught the ball. We're just making a nuisance of himself, as he is wont to do. She does just enough to get the ball out for Warnes. He'll try and shoot from the angle, but again, is that Hudson? Across and cover. No, that time it was Melville. Right, the defending for East so far, especially on that left side, very, very strong. 20 minutes into this match, still scoreless between Olympic and East. James Coughlin bringing all this action from round 7. Greenwood away from goal, and let's place that pass, looking for Reed. Just too far in front of Hahn, as he can't bring that one under control. Barnesy called for the foul there on Greenwood. To loft this one up into the box. Parsons has to shield his eyes from the sun. Wasn't really needed there, as the outfield players did their job. Finding Annis Wade. Clever footwork by Simpkin, looking for the cutback, and it's only white shirts around the ball. Annis Wade. comes from East. Not heated there as Takagishi slides forward, and he's got Warnes in support out on the right. Looks for the cut across. Unselfish play from Declan Warnes. And it wouldn't have mattered anyway because there was an offside flag, and Takagishi is now asking Warnes, why did you not take the shot on yourself? He had acres of space. And I think the offside offence was actually from the attempted square ball from Declan Warnes. Well, that's the second most goals in all comps for Olympic so far this season, with 5 from 12 games. Didn't fancy the shot on that occasion. Stepping out from central defence. He might think about going himself until 4 East's players closed him down. Pocket of cards, and the inside really able to extend its spell of possession or pressure so far. It's been largely shaded towards the home side thus far, but not a definitive outcome either way. Can the visitors offer from this set piece? And he'll play it straight into the hands of Hunter, and like he was having a last second thought to go to the left to try and find Hahn, and the other players making a run. With the touch finder. And another fully committed tackle from Hudson at left back. Olympic last year, 32 games, 2 goals. Tough whole day leading the line, as I would expect against that strong East backline, which, despite losing 4 of their 6 games so far, has only conceded 11 goals. The mid-table so far, it's the NPL. It's not so much how you score or how often you score or concede, it's when you score and concede. East, 2 wins, 4 defeats, 9 goals for, 11 against. Meanwhile, Olympic, 3 wins, 2 draws, 1 defeat. 11 goals scored, 9 against. Oh, that is a beautiful ball over the top, and Easts have the lead. Kusunoki was onside, and finally Easts get their breakthrough with a much-needed goal on the half-hour mark. Over the top it goes. And Kusunoki has his 2nd goal of the campaign. Has stayed in with a fortuitous bounce off the corner flag. Takagishi looking for an instant response as well, he hit that one, the power drive option. Sends it behind for a goal kick. So, point from just before Olympic, 11 goals, 9 against. They are 5 points better off heading into today's game, of course, and Easts. Of course, 8 of those goals did come in that wild round 5 clash against Brisbane City at Spencer Park. Score 1 more than your opponent last week, or every week. Just looking to turn provider, and it was allowed through and forced the clearance from Kogan. Once again, to pepper that channel. Left backs have been asked plenty of questions so far this afternoon. Goes a ball towards the top of the 6-yard box. Dealt with by East. Now Amanzi looking to return it into the box, and the decision is an Olympic throw-in. To close down Kogan, and it's ball briefly back for Easts. Over the top, Ewers running behind. Hudson again goes all in on the challenge. This time Ewe cuts back and keeps the ball. And Takagishi, time to size up his options. Hudson make plenty of those all-in challenges earlier. That time was caught out by the cutback of Yu, who might have seen what was coming. Now, clever work by Pengelly to get the ball back for East, and Ward, as always, providing that wide option out on the right. He's got room for the cross. 2 players there. And he can only find the head of one of the Olympic defenders, which I believe was Sam Cogan. Minutes to go until half-time. Cleared by Olympic, and there are some calls for the action to stop as a player is down in the box. 2 players are down. I think there might have actually been a head clash. And yeah, both players go down holding their heads. Surprisingly, a stoppage now for both of them to receive the necessary treatment. Hopefully the wounds are all superficial. Players going over to the Eats bench. Follow suit, heading towards their own, but slower to react. So while we have this break in play, let's run through the NPL men's round 7 schedule. Last night, 2 games. Lions commanding 5-0 winners over Wolves. Thanks in no small part to the red card Wolves suffered early on as Melville way back after popping the knock as he and Greenwood exchange a high five. And then Tyson Martin with the late equaliser for Gold Coast Knights at home to Rochdale last night. Watching Olympic East, which is the 3rd match of the campaign of the weekend. City Gold Coast United at 7 p.m. and then tomorrow Brisbane Royal B with Sekou Jamandi at the helm, taking on Penn Power at 2 p.m. Brisbane City Magic United at 5. Spray it out to the far side. Cut back for Takagishi. He likes this range and he got the shot in on Parsons. He's cutted into by Annis Wade, but does phenomenally well to hold possession and fire a deflection off the referee. Will come back for the drop ball. Previously, so the Brisbane Roar B side did have the departure of coach Borja Soto. stepped down after 10 matches in charge. Sekou Jamandi taking over the reins for the time being. And prior to the Easter break as well, was the announcement that Mark Wills has stepped down from North Star in FQPL 1. Our thoughts are with Mark and his family. Back to the action at hand as we close in on the halftime break. East leading 1-0. If you have just tuned in, visitors Eastern Suburbs leading Olympic 1-0, courtesy of Daki Kusanoki's 29th minute goal. Shadows on the pitch now are starting to lengthen. Sunsets are getting earlier and earlier as we inch closer to the 2 weeks of winter here in southeast Queensland. The pressure from Pengelly, and Bench imploring some support from their striker who was leading the press, but not being able to relieve the pressure. Again is Kogan. More for the football, and now a chance for East to launch another attack as the throw goes short. For Hahn. Beautiful first touch from Hahn, and the shot deflects off the defender, and behind it goes for a corner. We'll go to the replay, see this first touch again as Melville sprayed it out. Could not have controlled that any better, Hahn, and well, you almost hoped that the strike was a little bit better after the build-up. Short corner goes to Amanzi. Now back for Hahn. Driven ball into the box, cleared away, but as far as Kant will take the cross shot, it was something. Either way, it was caught by Hunter. Top it goes, looking for Perot, but the bounce wouldn't cooperate for the young striker. He's betting into this Olympic side after joining from Ipswich FC last season. 6th appearance to campaign, 1 goal thus far. touch there for Hahn, and the confidence of East, the football at their feet has been immense so far. They look just a little bit more committed in the challenge as the offside flag will go up. I think everyone was expecting that as Hahn had strayed just a little bit too far forward. Again by Manji has been one of the standouts. But miscommunication between Hudson and Parsons, and their opinions known towards one another as Hudson plays it out for a throw-in. Can they search for an equaliser as we enter first half stoppage time? Warnes stayed on side as he drives it across, no way through. Neville at the near post. There's been plenty of attacking ambition thus far. It's Perot waiting for the delivery. For the 300 game A-Leagues veteran. An ideal attempt there from Takagishi as it find Eastern Suburbs player. It's a fight to hold on to the ball in that corner, and over it goes. Be one more chance for Olympic to erase the deficit before the break. Quite the result Larkin was hoping for, but the throw-in will get the job done. Work there by Reid, and that will be the final action of an eventful first half here at Goodwin Park. Daiki Kusanoki has given East the lead in the 29th minute, and that is where we are going to step away for the halftime break. We'll be back with the second stanza after these messages.
Halftime at Goodwin Park. Into the men's fixture, it is Liverpool, it's one. Don't forget about heat activities for all runs in the car park. You can play with football, the dartboard, snowbanks. We've also got our fabulous matchday raffle. You'll see some Olympic players going around selling tickets. Please at the club. Our first prize is a 24-hour lottery car player experience from Halo, our matchday sponsor. The second prize is a meetup from Miles Meets. Third prize is a free invitation to the Olympic School Holiday Camp. Tickets are $5. And as you can see coming on the field now, our half-time entertainments, East against Olympic junior players. Please welcome on the field.
excellence? Is it measured in likes, bottom lines, or the impact we make around us? The things we build, the students we inspire, the care we give. At CQ University, we recognise all kinds of excellence. We combine contemporary courses with more choices and real support to empower you to create the success that means more to you. Be with CQU.
How do I finish this match? One straight off.
Felton Industries is proud to be the official shelter and grandstands partner of Football Queensland. Felton offers a range of premium aluminium grandstands, from elite portable spectator seating to soccer team shelters for players and coaches. Give your fans the best view of the game with Felton's comfortable spectator seating. With sun-safe shelters or powder-coated in your team colours. Whatever your club needs, Felton has a high-quality, low-maintenance seating option to suit. We are the pioneers in Australian-made grandstands and team shelters. Contact Felton today on 1800 834 016 or visit felton.net.au.
Welcome back, everybody, to Goodwin Park. It is time for the second half of this Round 7 NPL Queensland clash between Olympic and East. James Coghlan here in the commentary booth, bringing you all the action with the visitors leading 1-0. There you can see some of the halftime stats that we saw in the opening 45 minutes. A fast-moving opening 45 minutes, as long as both sides happy to try and chance their arm. And we are underway in the second half. Olympic now going from right to left in their predominantly red kit. Just wait for information on if there have been any halftime changes. Sinkin tracks back and play that one away. Ramsey goes in very late there on the players, and he is going to earn himself a yellow card inside the opening minute of the first half, as it was you who he cut it into late. Going to the notebook, first player booked this afternoon, and there was a halftime change with Scott Neville replaced by Alex Barnett. East actually name the reserve goalkeeper. Mr. Isaac Taylor has been serving in that role for most of the season. To the goal scorer, Kusanoki. There's another corner for the visitors. Very near post, searching for a friendly face. Well, it goes back to Hahn. Kusanoki under pressure, and it's back for Maud. He'll clip it over the top, and Hudson had straight offside. He looked around and was wondering where everyone was. That's why he was in so much space, Hudson. Easier calls for the officials tonight. It's been a frustrating night for Olympic. Through a lack of endeavour with the ball at their feet, but they just haven't had that cut through as yet. Part to moments like that. Also the work from that man on the ball. Manzi, who has settled in very, very well at Heath Park after making the move from Green Gully. Midfielder from East will have to do some work to ensure he can avoid that critical second booking. Takagishi playing it through, finding Yu. Back now for Warnes to dribble into the box. He's to get by the first challenge. Greenwood trying to control it, and on the turn just fires it over. I think Alice Wade might have been calling for it. It'll make Chris Grossman very happy on the bench, and Alice Wade at the top of the box was asking for the pass. As Gallardo tried to go into the bag of tricks, but didn't quite come off. Gallardo back after 2 years at Penn Power. Made his re-debut, if you want to call it that, in round 6. There he is on the tackle again. Some frustration for Matt Reid. A shot that will Chris Parsons very happy as he sees that one sail over his crossbar. Still a long way to go in this fixture as Gallardo fouls you. Feeling like he's in the trenches in this second half. Has already been clattered into a couple of times. For Perot is by Maud. So the head-to-head of these clubs in the NPL era is firmly favoured towards Olympic. So 5 wins and 5 draws, just 2 wins for East. Here at Goodwin Park, 2 Olympic wins and remarkably 4 draws, including a wild 3-3 fixture back in June last year. 88th minute equaliser from Riley Thompson-King. Something may not be pleasant reading for Olympic. Now, for those of the Olympic persuasion, the only player in their matchday squad who has scored in this head-to-head fixture is Abraham Yango. Of course, he scored for East back in 2020. He's on the bench. Greenwood looking to get on the score sheet, and that bounced at an awkward spot for Parsons, but the shotstopper did well to palm that one away. Could have caught plenty of keepers out. Well saved by Parsons. Goes for the defenders. Stayed forward. Another cross into the box, finding the head of Hogan. And last touch was off Maud. corner, which Olympic might not want to waste too much time with. Takagishi drives it near post. It's controlled and on the angle. Greenwood fires it into the side netting. Takagishi taking his time to measure that one. Breaking through infield with you to the pass, power on it to beat the East defenders. The ball out for Perot. Clever direction, the power perhaps a little bit too strong. See the Eastern Suburbs substitutes going through their warm-up. Barnett has already been called upon. A couple of players with A-League experience still available for Rickaby. It's passing to Josh Brindle South. Some strong reinforcements off the bench. Meanwhile, for Olympic, the aforementioned Yango, with his own A-League's experience. Also, Ty Cobb. The last 3 games. He's set to make his return. Plenty of absences on both sides. Strike duo Sazdo Georgiev and Kai Flemington. These know very, very well. Now it's on players like Warnes to pick up the slack, and oh, he goes for the square ball again, and it's just behind the on-rushing duo as Wade, perhaps with a frustrated shove into the back of Kusunoki. Also missing from that Olympic midfield, Fumi Sono and Brandon McMorrow. Sono was last seen in round 5 against Brisbane City. McMorrow missed the first few games of the season with injury as well. Now for East, without Braden Doolan, Matt Rydenton and Emmanuel Ifaka Onosiake. Not that either of these coaches would use injuries as an excuse. Seen plenty of that as is. Just gone out as we head towards the hour mark. And Takagishi wins it back well. Warnes will take the shot himself this time. He tried to cut back. create a better angle, but Barnett was up to the challenge. Warren now putting the pressure on. He could fall for Perot, and he's trickled it over the line. Jack Perot, not the cleanest of contact, but it doesn't matter as Olympic have their equaliser, and it was all set up by the endeavour of Declan Warnes. And, well, it doesn't matter how it goes in. It just did, and Olympic 1, Easts 1. Minutes before half-time, East took the lead. 15 minutes after half-time, Olympic had their equaliser. Is that the goal is second half needed to spring to life? He had been relatively quiet in the first half. Lions were able to find that link up, although now it's on the back foot as Sunoki. It's the fancy footwork, clips it up to the back post, and from a tight angle, can't force the save out of Hunter. Good work by East to take the lead back inside 90 seconds. That goal from Perot, I was all ready to say that he'd scuffed it, but he got just enough contact on it to get past the outstretched hand of Parsons. He has his second goal of the season. Finish as Perot goes for the miracle ball. Oh, Greenwood is clattered into in a challenge for the ball, and Greenwood has stayed down. And see what the replay tells us here is Amanzi's pass was deflected up in the air, and in defence of Matt Melville, I don't think there was a whole lot wrong with that challenge. It was a heavy collision. It did just look to me like two players going for the ball, and Yu is withdrawn. Ty Cobb is the player to enter the fray. He's played round 4 against Gold Coast United. He has missed the last 3 games. Just caught out by the bounce on that occasion, but there, and oh, that is now a bit of afters going on from that challenge as Parsons puts his hand around the neck of Perot, and Greenwood is taking plenty of exception to that as well. He's got a smile on his face. Parsons has come in and absolutely aggravated the situation as you see the pushing and shoving on replay. The foul did go initially against Lewis Greenwood, and we'll see the decision here. I think Greenwood was about to get a bit of retribution after getting flattened in that initial challenge. Now it is Greenwood getting told to calm down. A yellow card for him and a yellow card for Parsons for rushing in, and the start of the attempted noogie perhaps. Yellow card each way. Free kick still for Easts. I wonder if Greenwood is a little bit frustrated after the higher, and now East have a chance to back on the scoreboard as Kant tried to square it for Pengelly. Second yellow card of the season for the East shot stopper. Cobb skipping past that challenge of Melville. He's got Barnett in his way next, and he'll look to square it across for Warnes. And Hudson once again for the critical intervention. That's been the game plan for Olympic. Try and get into those channels for the cutback. The moments in the first half where the shot might have even been the better option, as I think you can see Alex Parsons getting prepared to be subbed on. Not just yet though. Takagishi, and there's no Olympic player at the back post, so an easy header away. Now it's clipped up. Now Sunoki to do it all himself, but needed a jetpack to chase that one down. Settle and see what his best option is. He decides it's that pass for Cobb as he's for some support. Cobb will go across goal, and Chris Parsons will have to clarify that from here on out by the looks of it. The save. Escapes Greenwood, who perhaps had to pull out of that one just a little bit, knowing he's on the yellow card. And it's substitution time. Manzi coming off.
Substitute by number 11, Alex Parsons.
A tactical shift coming for East, as now Simpkin is down. He's getting that right leg worked on. So Kalamanzi off after 67 minutes and change. And you're replaced by Alex Parsons. Perhaps saying that the midfielder was on a yellow card. Off, and Rory Scott would be the obvious change if Simpkin is unable to continue, although he looks pretty keen to get back on the field, and he is waved on. Could well be something to monitor. There is anyone wearing white agreed with that, but decision made. Play on now from the free kick. Just over 20 minutes of normal time to go. Jack Perot with the equaliser in the 60th minute. Now Let's see who will finish the stronger of the two. Side. Going to speculate who. I did just see the number 4, so Jack Hudson. Or is it Rafa Velado? This is why I don't speculate. Either way, throw in Easts. It's up the sideline. Give him a chance to test out the leg there as he had to make sure chase that one down. Face off. The leap from Takagishi earns the foul. He was sandwiched in that collision. Replay gives me a flashback to the second Mighty Ducks movie with the Bash Brothers sandwiching the Italian players, I think. Ward finding header to get that one back. Hahn. Right for Kusunoki. Lofts it back post and there to get on the end of that. All caught up in his feet. Yeah, blotch on his copybook for today. Fatigue certainly starting to settle in on these players. 25 degrees here as Parsons goes on a barnstorming run, and it was almost the perfect setup for Cart for the quick reactions of Hunter. Cobb. Tug on his jersey by Milano. See pass away for Reed. Now back for the substitute. The top, and it's giving Greenwood plenty of work to do, but keep it alive, finding Reed. Assistant might have just been overruled there by Brenton Learopoulos, our referee. Robertson may have had his final say in the match.
Number 16, Josh Brindle South, and post number 4, Jack Hudson.
And on comes Josh Brindle South for his first appearance of the season. Veteran of Lions and the Brisbane Roar. Gallardo over for Cant, and well, that struck the arm of the defender, but that would have been an unbelievably harsh handball considering the positioning. To no avail for the Olympic attacker as break is Takagishi. He can unlock the defence. Annis Wade out wide, finding Warnes. He's got options to aim for if he can find the right delivery, and I don't think that was the right delivery. Just under 15 minutes to go now. Still locked up at one apiece between Olympic and East. Taki Kusunoki in the 29th minute. Jack Perot in the 60th minute. Match that desperately love to find a winner. Through Barnett on that occasion. Go East on the break. They've got some numbers to aim for. Parsons with that wonderful left foot gets it to Kusunoki. Now he'll clip it up for Pengelly. Headed clear. Khan at the top of the box. On the turn. No way through for the shot. He's trying to take it himself and then plays it through to Pengelly. To do pretty much everything. About 15 seconds as there was a rugby tackle there by Greenwood, and Melville is going to earn that yellow card. Yellow card, well worth it. The Reds kick off in about an hour and a half. I think in the Super Rugby laws that may have been more than a yellow card. Feeling between Matt Melville and Lewis Greenwood, clearly. Third East player booked. Warnes lines it up. Is always rising. Melville is gone down, perhaps with a touch of cramp. Stoppage. Just a reminder, coming up in the NPL men's this weekend, we've got Brisbane Roar B Penn Power tomorrow at 2 and Brisbane City Magic at 5. And also tonight, reigning premiers Moreton City will host Gold Coast United. And here at Goodwin Park, there is the second half of the senior doubleheader, the Olympic women in action. top. Cobb. Warns in support. He's held that one a little bit too long. Looking to go again. Perot. Side of the foot pass, just a bit too much on it. Fizzed past the Olympic captain. Physicality has really been ramped up in the last 20 or so minutes. And two changes as Perot comes off, as does Warnes. Yango will come on face the side he spent 2018 to 2022 with, making 97 league appearances. And Damon Gorrell also on. Facing Perot. So another shift. Calmness needed there from Simpkin at the back to Hunter was able to claim that. This game remains tightly poised. East, they love to break this four-game losing streak with a victory. One of those losses was on penalties, but it's cup football, there can only be a winner and loser. And this win was back on the 7th of March against Brisbane City. 4-0 in the afternoon. Pengelly 2 goals, Alex Parsons and Clement Gordon, the goal scorers. And those are the only 2 NPL goals that Pengelly has scored for East thus far. Yango to link up. Yango almost got on the end of it. Bill South. The interception, but here come Olympic again. Oh, matched up with Maud as he is just cynically tugged back by Cody Maud. There's going to be another yellow card. That's 4. Now for the visitors this afternoon. He was beaten and decides to take the yellow card and force Olympic to do it from the set piece. It's Yango and Cobb over the ball. Takagishi thought about pulling rank, but he'll leave it. This is for the right foot of Cobb. And he'll go himself for that bottom corner, and it just goes wide. A bit too much bend on that. So the replay. Siengo made the run and he split the wall as well. Did Cobb. Now back to live pictures. Gallardo again. Up in midfield is for Kusunoki, hugging that wing yet again, trying to find a way past Reed. Goes wide for Brindle South. Does he fancy something on? He'll put it into the box, looking for Pengelly. Blocked away by Kogan. Out wide, Yango. He's got support from Larkham. Instead he goes centrally for Cobb. 2 players in front of him. That shot was never getting through. And up on the ground after it was all said and done. Parsons, he put it away. Now Hahn from the top of the box, and down he goes very theatrically. I think he was preparing for the contact before it came on that occasion. Now Simpkin trying to coordinate. Wasteful pass will be picked off by Barnett. Here goes Alex Parsons. Again, watched closely by Gorrell. Through it goes. Clever pass, and it is a penalty for a handball. East with a chance to win it late, and it came off the hand of Simpkin. We'll go to the replay. And the touch from Khan to try and get it through, and well, it may not have been intentional. Arm was raised, and a whole lot of protest from Olympic, just resignation, and now to fall on Andy Pengelly. And he secure a vital late lead for East. On the verge of their first win at Goodwin Park in the NPL era. Up he steps, and of course, makes no mistake, Pengelly scores from the spot, and East lead with 2.5 minutes of normal time to go. Buried it in the bottom corner. And now it's just waiting for calm. Not long for the visitors to hold on for now. NPL goal for the most prolific marksman Slade has seen in the last 13 years. Now, can they hold on? There'll be plenty of stoppage time to go. Olympic piling forward in numbers. They have had their chances. Can they make one more count? And will East hold on? And that one is fired towards the canteen. Spare football is retrieved. Strong work by to see off Greenwood. Now Pengelly beats Simpkin to the ball. The frustration for Olympic as they can only sit and watch as Ward will take his time with this throw in. This will be the appropriate time to do it as opposed to 30 minutes into a match with a 1-0 lead. And now battling for the ball is Greenwood. He got it back now over the top. Takagishi with the ball at his feet. Phenomenal tackle by Melville to take it away from Takagishi with the goal at his mercy. And he had to get that one right on so many levels, Matt Melville. So on a booking, that could have been easily a penalty and second yellow card if he didn't get that one right. And a phenomenal challenge from the East, number 5, who has been central to the action. Launches it towards the corner flag. Can't. Thinking about looking to hold it up, and out it goes off the visitors' attacker. And did that one ever actually go in? Oh, didn't, so Reed will get a second bite at the cherry. That probably won't be one for the highlight reel, but that one's down the line into a crowd predominantly of white jerseys. Olympic unable to clear it out of their half. Clever ball over the top, finding Kusunoki on the byline. Reed able to pounce on a loose ball. Last touch is off the visitors. It is a throw-in now taken by Reed. Forward it goes, and a sliced clearance by Barnett will give his teammates a chance to get back into their defensive shape. Reed launches it down that sideline looking for Cobb. He's just hoofed away. Pengelly looking to hold it up. Parsons goes down, and it is a free kick for East, as that'll allow them to burn a few more seconds on the clock. 93rd minute. Probably be a procession of East players thinking about taking this, and I'll just play it over the top. Kusunoki has stayed on side, so he'll take it to the corner flag. And the ball had crossed the sideline before Kusunoki had played it. And somehow that's a goal kick. All right. Tried to go through a trio of red shirts, and a heavy collision there has left Kant and Reed feeling the effects of it. He's off balance, and a heavy bit of contact. Now tick over into the 94th minute. Pass was thrown to the midsection of Cobb. Reed is bringing that one forward, and now it's through on its way, trying to get around, but no such luck. And East just happy to send it back down into the Olympic half. Hunter gets the ball back, and he'll roll it out with that left hand. Time surely running out for Olympic as Yango cuts back inside. No way through Hahn, but gets him the free kick, taken quickly for Takagishi, but he's almost on him a little bit too quickly. Now Simpkin waiting for an option. It's looking very static in front of him. How much time is left to play? Yango to Gorrell, and Olympic, they have to get it forward at some point. In goes the last-ditch ball. Reed in space on the edge of the 18-yard box. To cut back towards the byline, and Maud got his foot to it. Behind it goes. Corner now for Olympic. And will Hunter come forward? Just about everyone else is there for Olympic. In goes the corner towards the near post, headed away, only as far as Gorrell. Will it sit for him to take the shot? Blocked away And it's with Hunter on the halfway. He doesn't waste any time. Launches it back into the box. Headed towards Greenwood from the tight angle. He'll try and square it. And the comforting hands of Parsons will do it. A first win at Goodwin Park in the NPL era for East. And it was sealed with that penalty by Andy Pengelly.
Olympic 1, East 2.
Final score, East 2, Olympic 1. And a tense physical battle. We'll wrap up with the visitors walking away with all 3 points. And that is where we're going to leave you from our NPL coverage tonight. I'm James Coughlin. Thank you very much for your company. We'll be back with more action on FQTV later on. Good night.